Welcome to Joff's World Tour. I'm taking my motorbike, Tigger, to as many countries around the world as we can get to. In the last episode, we got as far as just outside London. So the next thing for me to do was to pack Tigger up, ready for a flight to Canada. Then I had a few days in London myself. Before catching my own flight to Toronto. Here I am in downtown Toronto. I'll just turn around, you'll find the CN Tower right there behind me. And just behind me here is Clarence Square, which is where the hostel is where I'm staying. What I've got to do now is I've got to wait for Tigger to arrive. I'm feeling that he's been delayed by some bank holidays in the UK. But hopefully he'll be here by Friday, because that's how long I've got in the hostel. And if he's not here by Friday, then I'll have to find some accommodation somewhere else. But for now, I'm going to spend some time exploring Toronto. Now, the trouble with this clip is that the background noise is terrible, so I'm just going to talk you through it. What I'm saying there is that I've been in Toronto for a week now, and there's still no sign of Tigger. Tigger is still in London at Heathrow, where I left him. Nobody seems able to tell me when Tigger will arrive in Toronto, but worse than that, nobody seems able to tell me where I need to go to collect Tigger when he does arrive. I've just been given the postal address at the airport, no phone number, no email, and no idea of where I need to go. What I've been told is I need to go into the airport and ask somebody. Now, Toronto International Airport is huge. It covers 20 square miles on the ground. It handles 50 million passengers a year. It handles half of Canada's air freight. So the thought of me just going in there and asking a random person if they've seen my motorbike, that kind of doesn't work for me. I've also been told I need to take a jerry can of petrol with me because Tigger's tank has been emptied ready for transport. And this is an airport where you can't even take 100 millilitres of water. So for me to go wandering about with a jerry can full of petrol, I think if I did that, it might be the last thing you see me do. So none of this works for me. And I've given it some thought. Mind that small dog. I've given it some thought, and I've decided I'm going to go back to London to reunite myself with Tigger and have a rethink from there. But before I do that, I'm going to go to the top of the CN Tower. Well, when you're in Toronto, it's rude not to. my final day in Toronto. Beautifully sunny. I'm sitting here having some lunch. I've just found it impossible to bring Tigger here. So Tigger's staying in London. I will be flying back to London tomorrow. I'll pick him up from where I dropped him off, and then I'll think again as to where I'm going to go next. Not the end of the tour. It just means that it's a stay on the Canada and USA part of the tour. I've had a nice holiday here in Toronto. It's been beautiful weather, but I need to go back to London and I need to think again. So for now, I'm just going to eat my lunch. Well, good morning. Quite a lot has happened since my last little video clip in Toronto, and a lot of it involved airports and things which I couldn't film. As you can see, I'm reunited with Tigger, hooray! But I'm not in Canada. Boo! So here I am back in the London area. It just proved impossible for me to get Tigger into Canada. So for the time being, I'm heading north, heading back to Scotland to rework a new plan. Today's ride is taking me from South London, south of London, up the road, north and into Lincolnshire for an overnight stop, and then I'll head north from there back to Scotland. The Dartford Tunnel. A lot of traffic, but at least it's free for bikes. Just coming through the little market town of Holbeach, where I spent a lot of years as a youth, and it's looking very nice in the sunshine. Places usually do look nice when the sun shines. Well, it's another morning, setting off, this time heading all the way up to Scotland. It's been raining in the night, so it's a bit wet. Hopefully it'll keep dry for me as I go. Taking advantage of the fact that there is room for me to filter here and it is legal here in the UK. That's me off the A1 now. The joys of the A68 heading up to Jedburgh. Always a fun road. Go now, just approaching the Scottish border. For once we've got some lovely sunshine for it. Border viewpoint just coming up. Well, it's not exactly Nova Scotia. It's, I don't know, how do you say that in Latin? Old Scotia. My Latin's failed me. Coming up now on Jedburgh Abbey, and I know there's a nice little coffee shop here, so I'm going to stop for something. And then the final push on back to Edinburgh. Fantastic view coming up across to the Pentlands and over to Edinburgh. To keep my eyes on the road. Here we are now, back where I started. Not quite what I was expecting at this point in my life, but here I am. I'll spend a few days here planning my next move. And then Tigger and I will be back out on manoeuvres again. Well, I've been back in Scotland for a couple of weeks now, and I've been thinking about what happened in Canada, and I'm still planning to go back there. I'm still working on how I have to get Tigger into Canada. But for this summer, that's going to have to wait, and so for this summer I have a different plan. My plan for this summer is to go east into Europe. I'm going to head for Romania. And then I'm going to go from Romania into Bulgaria. From Bulgaria I'm going to head into Turkey and go the full width of Turkey. And from Turkey I'm going to cross the border into Georgia. And Georgia is going to be a great place to visit. But I think that's as far east as I can go. At the moment my UK passport means I can't get into Iran. I have a visa for going into Azerbaijan, which would take me as far as the Caspian Sea, but Azerbaijan's land borders are still closed since the COVID pandemic, and of course I'm not going to go into Russia at this stage from Georgia. So Georgia's as far east as I think I can get this year. Once I get there I'll spend a little time in Tbilisi, turn around, head back, probably back through places like Albania and Croatia that I've never been to, and head back to the UK. That'll be me for this year, and hopefully by the time I've done that I'll have some of the answers that I need for getting the motorbike into Canada, and that will be my target for next year. So stick with me. That's the plan. As we know, plans can change, but hopefully that will all work out, and follow me through Georgia, Romania, Bulgaria, Turkey. It's going to be great. Well, hope you enjoyed this video. Will the plan work? Click subscribe, keep watching, and you'll be the first to find out.